Hello folks, I just wanted to kind of tell you about a few things about Elvis and the way he was. I'm going to start off by saying, first of all, that Elvis always tried to look his best. He always wanted to look good. He tried different things. In high school, he once got a crew cut, but decided that didn't look real good. So he let his hair grow out, and that's kind of when he started wearing his sideburns long. And he was somewhat different in high school. Later on, things like Elvis having webbed toes and all, I believe Joe had told Shirley Dew that Elvis told him that he had webbed toes. Now, this could be true. I really can't say for sure, but I had heard the same story. Elvis, if he did, he probably had them separated because he was kind of particular about his feet, and he didn't like to go barefooted much at all. And another thing is, later, he had caps on his teeth. Well, things like this to Elvis meant a lot because it made him look, he thought, and as it's proven out to the world, it made him look better. Well, it was told that he had a facelift in 1957. And to me, it wasn't a facelift. Elvis did not like the flare in his nose at that time, how wide it was. So he decided to have it trimmed down, and that's what they did. They trimmed the flare down, which made him look, God, I don't know how you could look any better, but he did. And Maury Parks is the one in California that did his trimming of his nose. So later, he had George Klein to go see Dr. Parks and all, and George had his nose done. And believe it or not, George really looked, he looked a whole lot better at that time. So things like this he's had over the years, like, for instance, in '56, he had a couple of moles on his hand, which he thought looked kind of unsightly, in a way he didn't like when his wrist would show because of that, so he had those removed. So over the years, I mean, a lot of things, has been told, and these are some of the things that I can tell you that are true. 1975, he had a facelift. Well,
I think Linda mentioned that he had a little bit of cosmetic surgery, which...
And, he thought
we went to the
that he needed it. Even Dr. Kalani told him, who was the one that did his facelift, told him, man, you're perfect. I don't know where I can improve on it. He said, well, this is what I want done. This is what I want done. So he went into the hospital. Linda was there. Linda stayed with him, and
we did.
And me and Joe, we stayed in the other room. And he had his facelift done. Well, again, this was things that Elvis always tried to improve his looks. And believe me, if anybody ever looked great, it was Elvis, even before he had all these things done. But think about, the way he was thinking, how he always tried to make himself look better.
He wanted to look the best.
He wanted to be, to look the best and be the best.
Dress the best.
And dress the best. And he had a unique way about him to go about doing these things to make himself look better, And And if somebody else he thought had a imperfection, you know, he would encourage them and help them, you know. And that was the way he was. And I'm just talking about things, you know, around Elvis in general that
he had a big heart.
He had, yes, he did, and you know, a lot of people don't know these things, but you know,
and don't believe it, or you know, if you were to mention it, they oh no,
you know. But he did. He had a way about him to, you know, to make himself look better. I've said that. So you know, I just I wanted to make these things basically known and just talk about him in general. And you know, he was, gosh, I don't know, just to me,
your hero.
He was my hero. He couldn't, to me, he could have never looked better, but he did. He made himself look better, and thank goodness, you know, that.
That's like with dyeing his hair.
Yeah.
You know, yes, he died. He did have his hair dyed.
Right. He had his hair dyed, and the reason being is that someone told him that his eyes were so blue and all that, that if he had dark hair, it would make his blue eyes stand out better. So naturally, Elvis tried it, and he liked it, and he kept it, you know, dyed black. And of course, these are
just like everybody else tries, you know, tries to do if they want try to look
like we all do.
Like we all do.
I mean, everybody's
like
guilty of it.
I tried. Of course, it didn't work, but I tried it. No, but these are some of the things I just wanted to tell all of you about, and you know, I guess a lot of them
Elvis
know.
was the type of person that was never thought he was above anybody else. You would think, oh my gosh, to sit and talk to him, it would be just unbelievable. But he was a really down-to-earth person. Of course, he knew he was Elvis Presley. I mean, he was proud of that. But he was an easy person to talk to, and he was always for the underdog.
Yeah.
He could not stand to see anybody belittled or anything like that. He was just a really good person.
Of course, Daddy didn't have to do nothing because remember, there's two in one baby.
Not to him.
Not to him.
No, but these, like I say, these were some of the things I just wanted to talk about. Just get them out there, and you know, and maybe some people know it, and a lot of them may not, you know. But I just thought I'd just talk about things in general. But I just want everybody to remember that we always live Elvis. Always.